Although steel cage traps and corral traps are widely considered among the most effective solutions against wild boars, the reality is that these invasive animals continue to wreak havoc across the United States and beyond, raising the question of whether there is a serious flaw in how humans are applying these methods, or if feral hogs are simply too intelligent and adaptable to be stopped by traditional approaches. Wild boars, also known as feral hogs, razorbacks, or wild pigs, have become one of the most destructive invasive species in North America, with their population exploding from just 2 million in the 1990s to nearly 9 million by 2019, spreading across at least 39 states, damaging farmland, forests, and even suburban areas. Unlike other invasive species, feral swine reproduce at an alarming rate, with sows capable of producing 2 litters per year, each containing 4 to 12 piglets, which means that unless at least 60% of the hog population in any given area is removed annually, their numbers will continue to skyrocket uncontrollably. This rapid reproduction, combined with their intelligence, adaptability, and destructive feeding habits, has turned them into a nightmare for farmers, ranchers, and wildlife managers, causing more than $1.5 billion in agricultural damage every single year as they uproot crops, destroy pastures, erode riverbanks, eat seeds before they sprout, and even spread dangerous diseases like swine brucellosis and pseudo-rabies that threaten domestic livestock and wildlife. In states like Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Florida, feral hogs have become the #1 agricultural pest, prompting the U.S. Department of Agriculture and state agencies to pour millions into wild hog control programs, including aerial gunning, hunting bounties, and even testing controversial poisons such as kaput, approved for limited use starting in 2024. Yet, despite these aggressive measures, the hog invasion shows no signs of slowing down. Among the most recommended strategies, large steel corral traps remain the backbone of feral hog management because they are capable of capturing entire sounders, which are family groups of hogs that travel and feed together. And when built correctly with circular panels 30 to 40 feet in diameter and at least 5 feet high, they prevent hogs from jumping or breaking out, especially when fitted with remote-triggered gates monitored by cameras, allowing farmers to close the trap at the exact moment most of the sounder is inside. However, even the best-built corral trap becomes useless if placed in the wrong location or operated without patience, and this is where most landowners make critical mistakes that allow hog populations to thrive. According to research from Texas A&M University, trap placement is the #1 factor determining success, with sites near water sources, creeks, and feeding grounds proving most effective because hogs regularly visit them, leaving behind clear signs such as uprooted soil, muddy wallows, tree rubs, and hoof prints in the dirt, all of which indicate high activity. Once the site is chosen, experts stress the importance of pre-baiting. Process where corn, fermented grain, or fruit is spread inside the trap for 3 to 7 days before setting the gate, allowing hogs to enter freely, lose suspicion, and become comfortable with the structure. One of the most powerful baiting tricks is soaking corn in water and letting it ferment for a week, releasing a strong, sour smell that hogs can detect from long distances. And when combined with sweet fruits like watermelon, peaches, or apples during hot summer months, the lure becomes almost irresistible. Farmers who follow this method have reported catching 20 to 30 hogs in a single night, proving that the right combination of bait, placement, and patience can produce incredible results. Yet too many trappers trigger the gate too early, often catching just a few hogs instead of the entire sounder, which not only reduces the effectiveness of the effort, but also teaches the remaining hogs to avoid the trap forever, making future captures much harder. Wildlife managers recommend waiting until cameras show that at least 80% of the sounder is entering the trap consistently before closing the gate. And once hogs are caught, they must be removed quickly because distressed squeals can warn nearby hogs, causing them to stay away permanently. Another key strategy is to rotate trap sites every few months to prevent hogs from learning and adapting, because these animals are far more intelligent than most people realize, with problem-solving skills and memory that rival dogs, allowing them to recognize danger and adjust their behavior, while hunting, shooting, and aerial gunning may temporarily reduce numbers, they rarely achieve the 60% annual removal threshold needed to stabilize populations. which is why properly executed corral trapping remains the gold standard for large-scale control. Despite these proven methods, the reality is that many landowners either lack the resources, equipment, or knowledge to apply them effectively, which is why wild boars continue to spread into new regions, even appearing in suburban neighborhoods, schoolyards, golf courses, and highways, causing car accidents and alarming communities that had never dealt with them before. Videos of hogs running across busy roads or tearing through city parks highlight just how serious and widespread the crisis has become. Experts warn that without aggressive, coordinated management involving farmers, hunters, scientists, and government agencies, feral hogs could soon rival deer as the most common large mammal across vast parts of the United States. The battle against feral hogs is not just about protecting crops. It is about safeguarding ecosystems, preventing disease outbreaks, and preserving rural livelihoods. Every farmer, rancher, and land manager has a role to play. And the more people share knowledge, techniques, and success stories, the better chance we have at pushing back against this unstoppable invasion. So what about you? Have you or someone you know ever tried using corral traps or baiting methods to catch wild hogs? What worked and what mistakes did you make? Share your experiences in the comments because your insights could help thousands of others fighting the same battle. And don't forget, this war is far from over. So subscribe and stay tuned for more in-depth content on feral hog control, invasive species management, and real stories from the front lines of farming and wildlife conservation.